For Red Film Radio, I'm Matt Micucci from the 2019 London Film Festival, and I'm very pleased to be joined by Jennifer Ehle. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Presenting the film St. Maud. Now, for the benefit of our listeners who are not familiar with the film yet, would you like to maybe say a few words about your character and just introduce it?
Well, St. Maud is about a film about a nurse played by Morfydd Clark, who is doing hospice care. And I play Amanda, who is a sort of modern dancer, performance artist who is now dying of cancer.
I find it's a very multi-layered character. There's a lot to unravel. I mean, what's the process like in trying to get under that skin?
Oh, it was a lot of fun playing Amanda, yes.
It was a lot of fun?
It was. I like playing characters that I think one of my sweet spots that I enjoy is when you're playing somebody who has a need to entertain themselves. And that's a big part of Amanda, and she's a person with big appetites. So she's got a big charismatic hunger for squeezing the last bits of life out of it.
I understand. And what about the actual the horror genre? Do you feel at ease within this sort of film?
Yes.
Stylized, yeah.
Yes, I think it's much more of a. I don't think it's. I mean, I don't mean it's not just a horror film, meaning that it's more than a horror film, but because I love horror personally. But I think that there are a lot of elements to this film besides horror. Horror is actually quite a small part of this film. I guess that's what I mean. And it's like more psychological horror than anything else. But I just love the film. I think it's so much fun. It's so entertaining to me.
I think psychological is one of the key words of the film. Just a quick note, actually, on working with Rose. What was that experience like?
Oh, I love Rose. She is fascinating director and writer. I think the way that she sees the world is very unique, and if you can say very unique, I'm not sure you really can, but I think the way Rose sees the world is unique, and she has the ability to bring her vision to share with us, and I'm really grateful that she can do that because I love what she sees.
I'm really grateful for being with us and talking about the film. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
For Red Film Radio, I'm Matt Micucci from the 2019 BFI London Film Festival. I'm very pleased to be joined by actress Morfydd Clark. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Presenting the film St. Maud actually here, but for the benefit of the listeners who are not familiar with the film yet, would you like to maybe introduce your character a little bit?
So I play a character called Maud, who's a palliative care nurse who has a rather intense relationship with God that starts to kind of take over her life, and she becomes obsessed with the idea of saving the soul of the person that she's caring for. And
it's a wonderfully complex character, I think. I mean, how are you able to get in a part like that?
I feel that the writing was really brilliant, Rose's script, and I felt I understood her almost straight away. But I think also that she's dealing with lots of things that I think lots of people, and particularly lots of millennials, deal with. There's loneliness, there's social anxiety and fear about the future, and that you're not living up to expectations. And I think I definitely have that to tap into, and so it kind of was uncomfortably natural.
Yeah, you feel that anxiety, those kind of.
I just think in general, I think it's around us. There's so much uncertainty and there's so much expectation in a world that's not necessarily easy to figure out. And I think that added with kind of there's a lot of people on their phones in it, and that feeling of being lonely when we're hyper-connected is kind of very now, a particular loneliness of now. I
think I understand that a bit too. Just as a final question, just a quick note, what was it like to work with Rose in this film?
Working with Rose was just so wonderful, and I really feel just so happy that she's going to go off and work with lots of other people, because it was so nourishing and brilliant to be a part of, and she's great, and I can't wait to see what else she does.
Amazing. Thank you very much for joining us. It was a great pleasure. Thanks a lot. And this is Red Film Radio, the Festival Insider.